Are you gonna cut this part out or?
No, I was totally gonna leave it in.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know how far to hold this. We should have tested
keep
that.
it like a fist away from your face.
All right, this isn't the Joe Rogan podcast.
Okay. I mean, because I have something that I could say to start.
You wrote up an intro?
No, I didn't write up an intro. No, I didn't script an intro, but it pertains to what we're going to talk about. And I think what we should talk about first.
Okay.
Through darkness of future past, the magician longs to see. One chance out between two worlds. Fire, walk with me. Want to talk about Twin Peaks? Because it's been our new obsession.
But Dan, we didn't even introduce ourselves yet.
I don't know, man. Should we leave that?
You're obviously Dan now.
Yeah.
I'm Sean.
Yeah. I was trying to be anonymous.
This is obviously I have no idea. No, it's not even I have no idea. I have no clue podcast because we have no idea what we're doing. But yeah, let's talk about Twin Peaks.
We're just shooting in the dark here. Yeah, so I started watching Twin Peaks. Mm-hmm. Because I realized it was on Netflix and I always wanted to watch it. And I heard everybody on the internet be like, ooh, David Lynch. Ooh.
Did you find out about it through Reddit or?
No, I actually found out about it from a book.
From a book?
Yeah, I was reading Michael Malice's The New Right, and he talks about how they shot the scenes where they're like speaking backwards.
Oh,
the scenes in the spoiler alert in the lodge and in the above the convenience store and all that.
You already know about the convenience store?
Yeah, well they talk about it. He's like, we lived above a convenience store.
Maybe I just didn't pay attention the entire time. I didn't hear that part.
There's so much info that they just like drop on you.
It's ridiculous, yeah.
It's almost like it makes no sense.
And it's horrible for someone like me who just can't sit down and watch something. So that's why it was awesome for me to have someone I worked with who was so obsessed with it and knew every little detail. I'd be like, so I'm confused why Audrey is now a slut. And he'd be like, oh, you didn't see that she went into Captain Jack's or whatever? I was like, okay, whatever. That makes sense.
She started working at the perfume counter because she knew that's how you get a job.
Where are you?
Did you just call it Captain Jack's?
Yes. Where?
You have no clue.
I have no clue. Exactly. Where are you?
I finished season 2.
You finished season 2?
Well, I followed your advice with season 2.
Okay. Did you look up any summaries or anything?
I looked up a summary of season 2 for the episodes I missed because, okay, so what Sean recommended that I do was get up to when the real killer is revealed and then skip to the last episode. Yes. So that's what I did, and I read on Wikipedia what happened.
Because that's what someone recommended to me. Okay. But I was so fucking confused on the last episode because I had no idea who his partner was. You obviously
his
have
partner?
Yeah.
Oh, the guy. Ex-partner? Oh, Wyndham Earl. Yeah,
Wyndham Earl. What kind of fucking name is that?
It's
Wyndham Earl.
It's a David Lynch name. No, that's a Mark Frost name. David Lynch quit.
Have you seen any of his?
David Lynch?
Well, no, he came back for the last episode.
Yeah, for the I know, but he quit when they introduced Wyndham Earl.
But this whole show is just a shit show.
Well, I think so. I have really mixed feelings about it.
So do I.
Because I loved every single second that I watched. It was so fascinating. And it was what I call cool weird. David Lynch
completely understandable.
Yeah, David Lynch has a problem for me where he goes into just uncomfortable weird. Like if you watch Eraserhead.
I want to watch it just because it's David Lynch, but
it's insane. Have you seen Blue Velvet?
No.
Oh, that'll make you want to stay a virgin for the rest of your life. It's so brutal.
Have you seen Mulholland Drive?
No, but I hear that's just a fever dream.
Isn't that one of the movies Joe Rogan talked about one time? He's like, this is obviously when everyone was just on coke the entire time in Hollywood.
Probably, dude. It's one of those movies that people mention but never talk about the plot. They'll be like, oh, just like in Mulholland Drive, and you're like, sure.
That's another one that the person I work with recommended. But anyways, back to Twin Peaks.
So with with Twin Peaks, I've been watching a bunch of stuff about it because I've been trying to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really want to watch season 3 because that's a lot of TV I need to commit to.
You need to watch season 3.
Okay.
Because that season 3 is what made me love it even more.
Okay. All right, I'll watch it.
Because I can't even.
All right. But I guess throughout the whole show, David Lynch never wanted to reveal the killer.
Yeah.
And that makes me furious.
Why?
Because I'm pretty sure I have special needs. And when you tell me that it is a mystery show, I'm going to need to know who the killer is.
But it's David Lynch.
Okay.
He's weird as fuck like that.
Okay, I'll give you that.
And I don't even feel like I have the right to talk about David Lynch because I've seen nothing besides Twin Peaks.
I've seen Twin Peaks and Eraserhead, so I'm only that much.
But just the fact that this
Blue
man,
Velvet. I saw Blue Velvet.
Just the fact that he plays a deaf guy
who's
in charge on his own show that's in charge of the FBI.
He could have been Dale Cooper. No, he's the deaf guy.
That's in charge of the FBI. And I'm just like, what is the world coming to?
What I kind of like the cliffhanger that season 2 ended on, with Cooper headbutting the mirror. That was such a cool shot.
You need to watch You need to watch the movie and then just watch
I'm
season
assuming
3.
that, okay, if I was to guess, the doppelgangers are more of a thing.
Just watch.
Okay, just watch it. Okay.
Because the movie it's kind of like a prequel / sequel.
Yeah. David Bowie's in it.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
It's great.
Yeah.
David Bowie's the man.
Okay.
We're not going to talk about Judy. And you have no idea what I'm talking about. That's why you need to watch.
Okay, I'll watch it. I'll buy it on YouTube for $1. I'll rent it for 3 days.
Dude, just go on. I told you, go on. There's Cody or there's Trevor. There's so many.
I don't have a Fire Stick.
Do you have a computer?
Yeah. Oh, does Cody, is that a computer program?
It's a software.
Oh,
and you have a VPN already, so.
Oh, yeah, so.
Yeah.
Start stealing stuff.
Don't steal stuff. Just be a cheap bastard.
David Lynch has enough money, damn it.
Exactly. I can't wait for you to watch season 3. Michael Cera's in season 3. Michael Cera is in season 3.
I'm watching it.
Exactly.
I'm watching it.
That's what sold me on season 3. I was told Michael Cera's in season 3.
Something else that I wanted to talk about is the guy who plays Dale Cooper, whose name is escaping me right now. Kyle McClanahan.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. McLaughlin.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Macalaka.
Twin Peaks.
Isn't he in Inspector Gadget?
I have no idea.
Is he in anything else? I know he's in Dune.
Dune. That's what I wanted to talk about.
I haven't seen it yet. I want to watch it.
Don't
watch it?
The movie's horrible.
Oh, God.
But what I realize is that the two things that he's best known for are weird cult classics. And I got introduced to Dune on accident just last week because I was hanging out with a friend of mine and we enjoyed some libations. I think that's a way to put it. We got intoxicated is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. I was going to say, Dan, I don't like big words.
And we started watching South Park. Mm-hmm. And there's an episode of South Park where the whole town gets obsessed with poop transplants. And if you get a poop transplant, it's better for your gut biome and you get healthier and lose a lot of weight.
What the fuck?
It's South Park, dude. And then so they do that, and then people start going after Tom Brady's poop because they're like, "Oh, that's got to be the best poop."
Makes sense.
But people keep calling it the Spice Melange, and I was like, "That's hilarious. Why are they calling it that?" And they're like, "Oh no, the spice. They're after the Spice Melange." And I'm like, "Why do they keep saying it like that?" That, I guess, is a thing from Dune. It's what the sandworms make. And so I looked up just a quick summary of Dune.
Yeah.
And it is the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard of in my life.
So have you watched it?
I saw the movie years ago.
Oh.
And it was a disaster. Oh. And everybody says that the movie is nothing like the book. And the movie has
I got the whole backstory on that with the dude I work with.
Of course he likes Dune.
No,
of course he likes Dune.
He was telling me how
telling
it's
you about
completely
the Bene Gesserit and the Kwisatz Haderach.
Yeah, exactly.
Made up words. Like, I love it when science fiction authors are like, I know what'll make my book good. Made up words.
It's just
like, just call him the chosen one, dude. How hard is that? Everybody understands the idea of the chosen one, the prince that was promised. Like, we already know. Come on.
Oh, just to get off topic for a second, did you see the trailer for The Messiah on Netflix?
The Messiah?
Yeah.
No.
You need to...
Is it about my boy?
No. Okay. I didn't know about this section of Netflix, but there's this magical section of Netflix that's upcoming stuff. And holy shit. You gotta watch. It's basically like they think it's the second coming of Jesus.
Yeah.
But the FBI thinks he's like just a terrorist. Like, coming up with a cult.
That sounds like my jam.
But if you think about it, like, if Jesus came back nowadays, like, that's probably exactly what would happen. It's like the FBI would be like, no. Well, this is just terrorist.
Well, if it was the real Jesus, I guess he wouldn't be committing acts of violence. Well, but he'd start a cult. Yeah. Just
because you'll understand it more if you watch the trailer. But he starts like performing miracles, and the FBI actually gets him in custody, but he vanishes.
Snap! So he is Jesus.
They're like, he has to have an inside.
Oh, okay.
Insider.
Well, I want to watch this now because I like things like that.
It's not out yet.
Well, I want to watch it when it comes out.
Yeah. And I can't remember if it's a TV show or a movie, but it looks
either way. I'm down.
Good.
And TV shows pretty much are just long movies nowadays.
They're
a movie franchise now.
Yeah.
Like Game of Thrones is essentially like the greatest movie series to ever come out, and then to just be so bad.
It makes sense.
We could do a whole episode on that.
I know.
And what I really want to talk about. So
what were we just talking about?
Twin Peaks. And then we were talking about Dune because of Kyle MacLachlan. So with Twin Peaks, I loved how weird it was. And I loved that it made sense that it was weird. Like, all the weird things that happened, you're like, oh, that makes sense. Like the special needs kid yelling out amen at the funeral. And then Bobby flying off the handle.
Oh my God.
Like, I loved that there were scenes in Twin Peaks that were so cringy and weird that I couldn't help but watch. Like, usually as soon as something gets cringy, I'm like, I can't watch it. Like, I can't watch those so cringy it's funny things.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's just cringy.
Yeah.
But with this, when Leland Palmer jumped on top of that coffin and it was going up and down, I was like, yep, just enjoy the ride. This is amazing. And I loved how we saw a lot of the other characters. I thought that was really cool. Like, every episode you were going to see what 10 characters were doing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
But like you said, for me it was so confusing at most parts because it's so much thrown at you at one time.
There is a video on YouTube called Twin Peaks, a 30-year mystery solved. It's 4 hours long.
I need to watch this.
And it talks about everything. It talks about
I need to watch this.
The movie, season 3.
If you have the link, you need to send it to me.
I'll send it to you. I could probably send it to you right now. But anyway.
I just can't wait for you to watch the movie and then season 3.
Okay. I love. Who was your favorite character?
Probably Cooper.
Cooper is, I mean, hands down, in my opinion, the best character. Because I love his idiosyncrasies. Like, I love that he's like, I don't know how good it is till I have the coffee.
Just the fact that they're the one scene where they go back to the station and they just have donuts all over the table.
And that becomes a thing.
Yeah. I'm like, what? And I think that was the first episode, wasn't it?
Or the second, for sure. And and I loved Lucy. I loved the Lucy and Deputy Andy side plot.
You
was
like
one of my
Lucy?
favorite. Yeah, she's hilarious to me.
She's so annoying.
It's probably because I know people like her.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh.
I think everyone knows people
it's the
like
same.
her.
It's the same reason I really like Italian mafia movies. It's like, oh, I know these people. Not in the sense of like mobsters, but in the sense of like greaseball Italians. Yeah.
What greaseball Italians do you know?
You don't know my family. You've never met my cousin Steve.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
But my bet for like my like favorite, the character who interested me the most, I should say, is Maddie.
Which one's Maddie?
Laura's cousin. Dark-haired Laura.
Yeah, dark-haired Laura.
First of all, because dark-haired Laura is an improvement over regular Laura.
Really?
Just saying.
Really?
That's just me. That's just me. Okay. I like her look. I like the sweaters, long dark hair, and glasses look. I'll dig it.
Okay.
But what I really liked was how she was like, why does everybody keep thinking I'm Laura? Like, the whole show. She was like, and she's like crying. She's like, when I was a little girl, I just wanted to be Laura, but now everybody thinks I'm Laura, and it's fucking weird. Then her uncle kills her.
Oh.
That scene.
It was so weird.
But it was so amazing. It was like, oh, so this is what happened to Laura.
No. Wait until you watch the movie.
Oh, okay. Then I'll know what happened to
Then
Laura.
you know what happens to Laura.
Okay. Is the poem ever explained?
Dan, I can't tell you if anything is explained.
Just watch it.
Just watch it.
Make up your own mind. Okay.
Yes. And I can't even tell you my favorite part about this show because you need to finish it first.
My favorite part is the first dream that Cooper has. Because that's when the show goes from, oh, it's this weird little town to, oh, this whole show is going to be weird.
Yeah.
When he was, and I just love the prophecy that the giant gives him where he's like, the smiling bag. And without chemicals, he can see the owls are not what they seem.
I don't even know if any of those poems mean anything.
Two of them did for sure.
It's just so weird.
Because they figured out who killed Jacques Renault. Because he was in a body bag and it looked like it was smiling.
Oh, right. I forgot that even happened.
Without chemicals, he can see was about the one-armed man. Who, can I just say, did that dude actually did they find a one-armed actor? Because that guy was amazing.
Did he even really have one arm?
It looked like he did, because when he was like spazzing out, you could see his not shoulder moving. And I was like, oh,
his nub.
His nub. And it was so creepy and so good. But here's how I've been describing Twin Peaks. I love it, but I won't recommend it.
I would have to really...
Because I need closure. And I know that David Lynch intentionally made this show without closure. Mm-hmm. He's like, no, I don't like closure. Why can't we just have movies that don't make any sense? But it's like, well, bruh, because
people need closure.
It's a mystery. Like, I understand what he's saying is once you have closure, people forget about it, and it turns into Breaking Bad, where everyone's like, oh, that was the greatest TV show I ever saw. And then they're like, oh my gosh, have you watched F is for Family? It's amazing. And it's like, well, didn't you just say Breaking Bad was the best show you ever saw in your life?
Or even anyway, like have you watched Sons of Anarchy?
It's too long. It's too much of a commitment. Dude, I'm watching The Sopranos right now.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So, like, I know that The Sopranos is good.
Yeah.
I don't want to... And I'm sure... Is a lot of Sons of Anarchy filler? Because it strikes me as a show with a lot of filler episodes.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But you know how my memory is.
Yeah. CTE and all.
Yeah, CTE and all.
Yeah.
No, but that was probably one of my favorite shows, too.
I like it. I like the idea of it.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Have you watched The Mayans?
I haven't, no.
Okay. That looks like it's substantially not as good.
Usually spin-offs are like that.
What? Has there ever been a spin-off that was better than the first show? This Game of Thrones spin-off is about to be better than the real show.
Fire.
Because George R.R. Martin is like, all right,
We need to do justice.
You did everything I told you in the wrong way. How is that possible? Yeah. But speaking of things that have been destroyed, I really want to talk about Star Wars.
I do too, but to interlock the two,
yeah.
Those directors got fired from the Star Wars project they were working on, right?
They did. Yeah, Disney was like, wait, so HBO gave you essentially unlimited money. You could do as many seasons as you want.
And you did
this. And you did this.
Because because weren't they doing the prequel?
No, they were doing a sequel series that was going to take place after. Okay, so you know how the movies are broken down, prequels, original.
I'm talking about Game of Thrones.
Oh, Game of Thrones. Oh,
weren't they doing the prequel?
No.
Weren't they doing the White Walker prequel?
No, they weren't. Because they were doing Star Wars.
Then why did they cancel the White Walker prequel?
Because they realized that there's a prequel book written by George R.R. Martin, so why don't they just do that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's about the Targaryens instead.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Is Dany going to be in it? Oh, no, because it's like thousands of years before.
Well, it's like a couple hundred, yeah?
Dany's bad. Anyway, but yeah, no, Star Wars.
So my understanding is they got fired. Their series was going to take place after the newest movies.
Okay.
And Rian Johnson, who directed The Last Jedi, he was getting his own trilogy, and they were going to MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe, the trilogies, and then so if you watch both of them, and then there'll be like a big, like Avengers Infinity War type movie that was going to cap them off.
Yeah. Geez, smoke another one. You sound like Theo Von.
I'm sorry about that. So, don't smoke, kids. It's not good for you, as it turns out. Man, science was right. Who could have guessed? But when I heard that, I was like, that's disgusting. Do not do that to Star Wars. I hated that they did it to the Marvel movies. Because they were Marvel movies I didn't care about. I did not like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies.
You don't like them?
I didn't like them. Because they felt...
I am Groot.
They felt too much like, hey, you guys like this, right? That's what it felt like to me.
I don't know.
Okay, it felt like the most Marvel movie. Like, it was like the most, like, Marvelicious. Like, it's a comedy, Like, you know how the Marvel movies are? Like
that's not the most Marvel.
Well, then what would be? Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Which one was that?
The original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire.
Oh, no. Freaking Iron Man is one of the most Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Because Robert Downey Jr. is just a sarcastic asshole, and it's beautiful.
Robert Downey Jr.
Is that what's his name?
Robert Downey Jr.
Downey?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez, I have horrible names.
That's okay. I'm just trying to save you so that we don't get lit up in the comments.
Well, that's good. It's really not Downing?
I'm pretty sure it's Downey. Robert Downey Jr.
We're going to have to look that up eventually.
But I did, regardless. Like, I didn't like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, so I skipped them. And then I went and saw Infinity War and went, who are these people?
Yep.
Because I wanted to see Infinity War, but I didn't know the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Did you watch Captain Marvel?
No.
Actually, pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard the opposite. See,
But that's... there's so many... Here's the thing. We have way too many of these fucking tryhards that are like... It's not like the comic.
Okay. I don't care. I do not care.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't care about that.
That's why I at least gave it a chance.
The only time I really genuinely cared was with Watchmen. Because they changed the biggest part of Watchmen, and it completely changed the ending and the meaning of the story.
I still don't. I don't understand the ending of Watchmen. Still,
the comic or the movie?
I didn't look up the comic one.
Okay.
But have you watched the show at all?
It's fantastic.
It's fucking
It is
crazy.
so good. Yeah, I love it. I loved that they... I don't understand... I'm excited to see tonight's episode.
I haven't even seen a full episode of it. I just saw like the beginning of the first one where
you need to watch it.
With the cops and the mask.
Well, there's a Alt-Shift-X video that you should watch that'll help you get prepared for it. Because if you haven't read the comics, you'll have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, well, they released like a video version of the comic.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that.
But I don't know if it's like the same ending.
I'm positive it is.
But,
well, because the ending of the Watchmen show takes place after the comic book ending.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like 20 years after that. So it has nothing to do with what's his name movies. The guy who directed Zack Snyder. It has nothing to do with Zack Snyder's movie, which I like.
Justice League?
No,
I'm just kidding.
Okay, good. Dude, those DC movies are so bad.
They're so bad.
They're so bad.
They're so bad.
Every year I root for them. Every year I'm like, you know what? The rest of them sucked, but I feel like with this one they're gonna figure it out. And I liked Suicide Squad. I'm gonna be honest.
You did?
I liked it, but that's because.
I mean, it was good for what it was.
It had all the things that I like.
It had Margot Robbie, and I love Margot Robbie.
Yes, and it had licensed music, you know.
It had licensed music.
No, but like I love when they used licensed. I love when they used licensed music well. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
And because like when they play "Without Me" by Eminem, like that was hilarious.
I don't even remember what you're talking about.
Like,
I've seen that movie like one time.
Wait, was it Without Me? They played some Eminem song while
Yeah.
Margot Robbie was getting dressed. And she's like, why is everybody looking at me?
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about now.
I like that. Okay, they did do a lot of dumb stuff, but I like Jared Leto's Joker was horrendous. I
still need to see the Joker.
You haven't seen the Joker?
I haven't seen the Joker yet.
In my opinion, not as good as The Dark Knight.
Really?
But way better than anything else DC's been doing.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like this is why everyone's like, oh, Star Wars is garbage now. Oh, Marvel is garbage. We're comparing too many things.
Yeah, I'll agree to that. I do believe in liking things in their context.
Yeah.
So like, I'm not gonna hold a Marvel movie to the same quality that I held Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or The Irishman.
I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I love that movie. I want to talk about that later though.
Okay.
So I have that written down, so we'll get back to it. So, but with Star Wars, I'm so glad that they're not doing that MCU garbage. And I came to a shocking realization last night because I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order.
I want to play it so bad.
It's really good. It's so good. The combat is satisfying, and I really like the story because I'm a Star Wars nerd. I've been a lifelong Star Wars fan. I read some of the Legends books. You know,
I want to start reading some of the books.
I'm knee deep. No, don't read the books because it'll break your heart.
It'll break my heart
because you'll realize what the Star Wars story could have been. Because they've made all the books non-canon. They've said, nope.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Remember, they titled it Legends. And so anyway, I've been playing Fallen Order, and TNT has been playing all the Star Wars movies. So I'm like, I'll watch them. Yeah. I love Star Wars.
Star Wars is so great.
And my brother got Disney Plus, so I'm using his account to watch The Mandalorian. So I'm in like a Star Wars mood.
Do you like The Mandalorian?
I really like The Mandalorian.
I really love it.
I'm disappointed it's not as violent as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But that's when I realized, violent by Disney Plus standards is much different than violent by Game of Thrones standards.
Well, here's the thing. I was scrolling through Facebook earlier, and it came up, the freaking thing algorithm was 23 movies coming out by Disney. But the thing is, 20th Century Fox is still like its own entity, except it's owned by Disney.
Yeah.
And they have this crazy looking movie called, I think it's like Deep Water or something, with Kristen Stewart.
Okay.
Basically, have you seen Life with Ryan Reynolds?
No.
Watch that first off, because that's a crazy movie. Anyways, it's kind of like that, but like essentially this underwater lab who is digging to the bottom of the ocean gets wrecked by an earthquake, and then these like strange creatures start fucking with their lab and stuff. It looks scary.
Okay. But I love things like that. So.
Yeah, but so essentially that's a Disney movie.
Essentially, yeah.
Pulp Fiction is a Disney movie, essentially.
No. 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 Isn't Pulp Fiction a Miramax? Not 21st Century Fox thing?
They bought Miramax.
Oh, it's one of those. Miramax was bought by 21st Century Fox.
No, this was before
Disney
they
bought Miramax?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know about that.
I don't know if it's Miramax, but whatever company it was, Disney bought it right before it was put out.
Okay. Well, I was going to make a joke. Oh, no. Saying that Pulp Fiction is a Disney movie is like saying Vice is a Disney TV show. Which, yes, technically it is, but...
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Right, yeah.
But, have you seen the new episode of Mandalorian?
I'm 2 episodes behind.
Can I ruin something for you?
I mean, there's nothing.
It won't ruin anything for you.
Go ahead.
Bill Burr's in the newest episode.
I know. Twitter won't. Twitter's like, oh, Bill Burr. That's what I love about Bill Burr is Boston Twitter comes out to support him. They're like, hey, guys, you seen the new thing Bill Burr is in? He's got a show on Netflix. I love it.
But yeah, no, I think that's one of the coolest things is there's so many cameos in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, Gina Carano was in it.
Yeah, and that UFC that's the
Gina
UFC.
Carano, yeah,
she's hot.
She's really hot.
It's cool.
She's really hot, dude. I don't know how the UFC, all of the early fighters that they found, Michelle Watterson, Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano, Misha Tate. You're like, oh, not only are they like very good fighters, like very very good, they're also gorgeous. They are drop dead gorgeous.
And they'll kick your ass.
And they will destroy you.
She's in a bunch of movies too, though. She's in
Gina Carano?
Isn't she in the Fast and Furious movies now? She was like The Rock's partner, I think.
I don't know, dude.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't watch those movies sober, so.
You told me, didn't you see? Oh yeah, you told me Hobbs and Shaw you didn't see sober either. Yeah. Anyway, what were we talking about?
We were talking about Star Wars, and the realization that I had. So, The Mandalorian, Jedi Fallen Order, the books, Star Wars Clone Wars, all of those things are my favorite things about Star Wars, and none of them are made by George Lucas.
When you say Clone Wars, you're talking about the cartoon?
Show. Yeah, the series.
Did you know there's the movie,
The movie's Clone Wars. So bad. The movie is laughably bad. I saw it in theaters.
The cartoon movie?
Yeah, I saw it in theaters when I was a little kid. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I knew nothing about it.
Dude, I have been obsessed with Star Wars since I was 3 years old.
Me too.
Like, my parents bought me the movies on VHS when I got my tonsils removed, and I haven't stopped. Just every year, there comes like a 3-month period where I'm like, I'm only doing Star Wars.
I feel you.
Yeah. And what I've realized is, if anybody else made Star Wars, it would be like it already is a legendary series. You know,
it's one of the most profitable series of all time.
But it would be like Tarantino levels of legendary if somebody else made it, in my opinion. It would be much more respected, is what I'm saying. Because like the story is so good. But But it is told in such a dumb way by George Lucas.
No,
like when you watch A New Hope is the best one. I don't think that's a controversial statement. Episode 4.
Bro, A New Hope was the worst.
What are you
There's no lightsabers.
I knew you were going to say that. No, but like in terms of like a movie, like it tells like a cool story, and like, but what you realize is he had all this stuff planned already. He's talking about the Clone Wars, and you're like, oh, you had this planned, and this is where you wanted to go. You wanted to talk about midichlorians in people's blood. You wanted to talk about Jar Banks?
Yo, Jar Jar Banks. Are you a Jar Jar Banks hater?
I'm a Jar Jar Banks. Jar Jar Banks is a Sith Lord.
He is.
He is. I believe that so that I don't cry myself to sleep.
Dude, in the Lego Star Wars games, he uses the Force.
Yeah.
He uses the Force.
He can jump really high in the Star Wars, in the Lego Star Wars.
In the movies, he jumps really high.
I know.
In the movies, he somehow gets to be a politician. The goofiest motherfucker in the entire universe becomes a lead politician.
You know who our president is, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just kidding. The one thing I don't want to talk about on this show is politics.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, Lord.
But, but no, just the fact, because...
Okay, but do you agree with me?
On what?
That if someone else directed and wrote the Star Wars movies using George Lucas's plot, they'd be better.
Like, not having George Lucas direct. Well, wasn't Steven Spielberg?
He was a producer. He was like behind the scenes. He wasn't like. It wasn't like Indiana Jones where they were like, this is a George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, deal.
Oh.
It was more like, yeah, I like it.
I feel like if George Lucas wasn't so fan focused.
Yes. With
the first one, and everyone was like, Jar Jar Binks sucks. Because I guess Jar Jar Binks was supposed to be the guy in the second film, not Count Dooku.
No, shut up.
This is a big theory, Dan.
Okay,
this is a big theory.
But what you need to realize about Star Wars theories is they are almost as insane as Game of Thrones theories.
Imagine Jar Jar Binks and Yoda as the final battle in the second movie. That would have been epic.
Oh, you some made a big mistake.
He would have had a badass lightsaber too.
It would have been double bladed for sure.
It had to have been.
How do you feel about Kylo Ren's lightsaber? Because I love it.
I don't know.
I think the cross guard makes perfect sense to me.
It does make sense.
Like, I hated the people who were like, oh, you'll cut your hand off if you spin it around. I'm like, how? How? Because we have swords, so we know that doesn't happen. Granted, we don't have swords with blades for a cross guard, but
some of them do.
Some rednecks probably built that. What am I talking? I gotta watch more Forged in Fire.
Oh, Forged in Fire is crack.
It's the best show.
It's the crack.
It's the best show.
It made me want to be a blacksmith for like a month.
It's like Chopped, but with but making knives.
With metal.
Yeah, with metallurgy. Oh, I guess that's metal smithing. I don't know, dude.
Yes, blacksmithing, Dan.
No, it's bladesmithing. Isn't blacksmithing when you make like horseshoes and anvils and stuff like that?
Is there really a difference?
To these guys?
Probably. But I don't know none of that shit. They're making metal stuff, and it's badass.
It's almost like you could say you have no clue.
Yes. Exactly.
But
what are we talking about?
Back to Star Wars. We keep getting derailed. So I don't know, because I love Star Wars so much, but I'm so apprehensive to show it to people, because I'm like, look, in my eyes, in my like rosy tinted fan eyes, I love the prequels. I love the prequels so much.
Oh, they're great.
But they are.
Episode 3 is one of the greatest movies of all time.
See, I agree with that, but that's because I saw it when I was 4 years old.
I saw it when I was like 10.
I wasn't 4. How old was I? It was when we were still living in Georgia. So, I don't remember. But I was a little kid. I was a child. And so I loved it because there was lightsabers and there were spaceships, and Anakin was my favorite character.
And then he went bad, and you're like, oh, man. No. Broke my heart. Doesn't Obi-Wan say that? You broke my heart.
Padme says that. Anakin,
oh, yeah.
You're breaking my heart. And then he tries to get kinky with her, and she's not into it.
Dude, I cannot wait for this Obi-Wan Kenobi show.
I initially was not excited because I was like, why
did you hit your head the day before?
No, because Star Wars fans have been clamoring for an Obi-Wan show for decades. And the thing that I've never understood is, like, he doesn't do anything. Like, he just hangs out in the desert. Why do we care? But now that...
What are you talking about? It's Obi-Wan. It's Ewan McGregor.
And now that
he's not just out here hanging out in the desert.
Okay, since they've got Ewan McGregor, I want to see it. I was afraid they were going to get some Ewan McGregor look-alike.
There's rumors that Liam Neeson's coming back for Qui-Gon Jinn, too.
Okay, if he does that, I'll watch it. Because I loved Qui-Gon Jinn, and I wish that I want more Qui-Gon Jinn.
I was so devastated when Qui-Gon died when I was a little kid. I was like,
too.
Dad, why are you making me watch this? This is sad.
Oh, that movie is so bad, though. But I love it so much.
It's really not. It probably is.
I gotta
watch it again.
Yeah.
I feel like I watched it like a couple years ago. I was like, oh, this is kind of poorly made.
The thing that I don't understand is why... I don't blame the kid that plays young Anakin, because I know that he's been like harassed his whole life.
Has he?
Oh yeah, because people are like, you ruined Star Wars, and he was like, I was 7.
See, this is what I'm saying. There's so many like hipster-esque people about so many things, and it's just ruining everything.
I agree generally.
Just take things for what they are.
Yeah, and I don't think that you should blame.
Except for the Fantastic Four Because someone just needs to actually do that right for once.
How have they messed it up that bad twice?
Three times.
3 times?
There was 2.
Oh, there was a sequel. Yeah.
The only good thing about the first 2 was Jessica Alba.
And young Chris Evans.
Yeah, he was pretty cool.
And I just the only thing I remember from the second one is they're like questioning the Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
And he's like, usually human rights apply here, but good thing you're not a human. And I was like, that is, and even that movie came out when I was a little kid, and I was like, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because, well, yeah,
wasn't he just like a prisoner the entire time?
I don't even remember, because I just remember them when that movie was coming out. Everybody was talking about the Silver Surfer, and they're like, "Oh, he's like the best superhero ever." And I was like, "Oh." Okay.
I still know nothing about the Silver Surfer.
I know nothing about him.
He's like metal,
yeah,
and he flies around on a surfboard.
That's such
defying the laws of physics.
That's
as he
such
goes.
a 1950s, 1960s idea of a superhero. Yeah. He's made out of metal and flies around the world. See his wondrous powers and feats of strength.
I guess there's a new X-Men movie coming out too. Have you seen anything about it?
Is there really?
Maisie Williams is in it. That's the only reason.
Oh, so what? Are they casting like all former Game of Thrones people?
Probably.
Because the chick that played Sansa, Sophie Turner, was like the main character. She played Jean
Dark
Grey.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I saw the one before it, and I was like, these movies are a disaster.
Yeah, that's another one that someone needs to just come in and do right.
Yeah.
The only good one was Logan.
Oh, Logan was so good.
So good.
So good.
It was so good.
I'm so glad they finally pulled the trigger on making it rated R.
Yeah.
Because I was like, he's Wolverine. He cuts people's limbs off. Make it rated R.
That shit. Spoiler alert. Did you cry at the end? Because I cried.
Yes.
I was like,
I didn't literally cry, but I was like,
I shed a thug tear.
A thug tear.
I shed a thug tear.
Yeah.
It was just like one tear. What are you doing?
Sorry. Keep talking.
Are you texting right now?
I got an important message.
I got an important message. Mom wants to know if I want beans for dinner. No, but I was having this conversation about Star Wars with the dude that I work with.
Yeah.
And he's super upset about the newest movies. He's super upset.
I am too, but I don't blame Disney. I blame Rian Johnson.
Yes, I talked to him like a counselor, and I got down to the point where he was mainly upset of what they did to Luke.
Okay.
With him being like a hermit and just cranky all the time. But like the man tried to bring back the Jedi awesomeness, and then Kylo Ren was like, and just destroyed everything.
Mm-hmm.
And just imagine you're trying to build something back up, and then some douchebag brat comes along and just literally burns down everything. Did you see they made like a comic book?
Yeah.
About Kylo Ren?
Yeah.
And it explains like everything and how he like destroyed the temple and stuff.
Yeah. Are they fine? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't even know what I was gonna say. What were you gonna say?
Oh, well, I was going to ask you if in the comic they finally explain the Knights of Ren. Because
that's the point of the comic, is
good.
They're explaining the Knights of Ren.
All right, good. Because since episode 7, they've been like, the Knights of Ren. Nothing happened in episode 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then in episode 8, they're like, the Knights of Ren.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing happened in episode 8.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're finally... What I'm worried about is Rian Johnson ruined whatever plans they had. And with killing Snoke and with making, like, he just like killed it. He crushed it.
Wait, what? Snoke's dead?
Yeah, he got cut in half.
Dude, I gotta rewatch those 3 movies because I don't remember anything out of it. I just remember because this was the main point that I made with the dude that I work with is Luke literally just projected himself onto the battlefield and was still on the island the entire time.
Yeah.
And was crushing it as a hologram, basically.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
And then he disappeared. I was pretty upset about that.
Yeah, I didn't understand. Here's what I don't understand is I feel like with the new trilogy, they had 2 choices that made sense to me.
Do you know what that was when he disappeared, though?
What?
He was becoming one with the Force.
I understand the in canon answer, and I reject it. because there have been Jedis who have done like why, like, you're telling me, okay, I'm willing to accept that Rey is a Force sensitive and is more adept at the Force than others. I'll accept that.
Mm-hmm.
But you're telling me she's like a Jedi master now? So, like, you're telling me that Luke, instead of staying alive and waiting until they defeated Kylo to create a new Jedi Order.
A new
Jedi Order, because he tried to make the new one and, well, things got a little awkward.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, redeeming himself, he's just like, I'm one with the Force. Peace. Good luck.
Yeah.
But
because I guess even Mark Hamill was like,
well,
I don't get what they did with Luke.
Mark Hamill's the most miserable person on earth.
He looks it.
Mark Hamill, he is, like, mad that he's known for being the Joker and for being Luke Skywalker. Like, you can tell, to me at least, that he's one of those actors who's like, why can't I be in real roles, damn it? I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Have you ever read any of his tweets?
No.
He's the single, like, most he's always complaining about politics. He's always
That's
like,
every, like,
no, but he's like
famous person
He's like
now.
Stephen King levels of, like,
oh my God.
yeah. Stephen King, who saw the show Chernobyl and thought it was about Donald Trump.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That show was fantastic.
It was so good.
That was so good.
Did you finally finish it?
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good. Did your dad like it?
Oh, my dad loved it.
We got to get your dad on here
My
and
dad-
talk about nuclear physics. Have him try to explain it to me. I'm like, uh-huh.
Well, he can explain it like you're a moron.
What do you mean, like I'm a moron? I am a moron.
No, but, like, he's really good at being like, I don't know. He always says that he hates teaching and he'd never be a teacher.
But he does it all the time without realizing it.
Yeah.
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 Makes sense. I know those people.
Like, I knew how a nuclear reactor worked when I was 10 years old.
There's no way.
No, but I mean, like, I didn't know, like, I could run it, but I knew, like,
you press this button.
you gotta press AZ5.
I just love the whole thing about that show. Just the one guy was like, didn't happen.
Yeah.
Can't happen, so it didn't happen.
Have you ever seen The Death of Stalin?
Is that the one with George Clooney?
No.
What the fuck is that? You know what I'm talking about. There's some weird ass...
Monuments Men.
Nope.
Oh, well, that's a weird George Clooney movie. But The
Men
Death
Who
of...
Stare at Goats.
I love that
no,
movie.
there's some weird movie about Stalin in the name, but I don't even think it has anything to do with Stalin.
No, but The Death of Stalin's a comedy. And there's a scene where they're talking to Sergei Stalin, Joseph Stalin's son, and he's the coach of the Soviet hockey team. And I guess what happened in real life was the plane crashed because of an ice storm. And he was like, I'm sorry, Sergei, these were the best players we could find after the crash. He goes, what do you mean? Soviet planes don't crash. And so I loved that was like, there were so many characters in Chernobyl that were like, what do you mean meltdown? We just had a little accident.
It was so stupid.
No,
and then the guy who just picks up the rock.
Yeah.
I love
Dude,
when
my
you were
dad-
like, my dad was like, oh no.
Yeah, dude, my dad ruined the show for me because whenever he would call he wouldn't call it. He'd say what would happen. And the show was pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Scientifically. There was the scene where the helicopter crashed because it flew over the reactor. My dad said that's completely made up. But, and then as soon as my dad saw the rocks, he was like, oh no, that's graphite. And he's like, oh, that's got like, oh, and that's the sounds he kept making. And I was like, what's going on? He was like, that's full of, Zargon B-57. Oh, that's so hot. He's going to burn himself. And then when he takes the glove off and his hand's all red, he went, told ya. And then when they were like, oh, it's only 4.6 milliram or whatever, my dad was like, no, it's way higher than that. The machines only go that high. And then the next episode, he's like, oh, no, it's much higher than that. The machines only go that high. And he'd go, told ya. And dude, I'm like, shut up.
No, the one scene that it just gave me so much anxiety when they had to go like underneath where it was like flooded.
Water. Yeah.
That was an anxiety-inducing scene.
The first episode to me was the most anxiety-inducing. Because it was so like we're all gonna die, like, and people just kept dropping dead.
Yeah,
you know, I was like, oh my god.
I think that was like one of the coolest scenes. I think it was in the first episode, but like when the people were on the bridge, and it was just
and they were
showing
overlooking
like
it.
Yeah, they were overlooking the explosion, and it just showed all the ash coming down, and you're like, they're dead.
Yeah,
they're all dead. They're not making it.
No, and that's what my dad was saying. He's like, oh, they're all dead. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, you see that light? Like the light that was shining out of it?
Yeah.
I go, yeah. He goes, that's not actually there. That's a ion atmospheric reaction. That's pure radiation that they're looking at.
Oh my god.
And I was like, he's like, oh, the uranium 27X, you know, it ionizes immediately when it comes in contact with air. And I was like, what are you saying?
I don't understand these terms.
Yeah. But how'd we get on Chernobyl?
I have no fucking clue.
Well, back to Star Wars, and so Rian Johnson, I blame him for how Star Wars is. And I'm sure Disney is having a lot of negative influence, but I'm just like, what are they going to do? And I'm so scared they're going to introduce time travel. I'm so
that
scared.
would be horrible.
Exactly. But
they can't do that.
J.J. Abrams is been quoted saying something like, I just reached a point where I said, fuck it, I'll do what I want. Or something like that.
What the fuck?
And J.J. Abrams loves time travel.
I know he does.
He loves... All the Star Trek movies have time travel. All the Lost had time travel.
Oh, I forgot he did Lost.
Yeah. So he's known for putting time travel in when he can't.
I'll be pissed.
I'm really scared that's what's going to happen.
I'll be pissed.
Because why are they riding horses at one part?
Oh, I saw that. I didn't see a trailer until today.
Oh, as soon as the trailer dropped, Rob and I watched it at work.
Of course you guys did.
Yeah, dude. We could do whatever we wanted. And our manager came out and was like, oh, you guys are using the computers? We're like, yeah, new Star Wars trailer. Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna see it, obviously.
Oh, yeah, you have to.
I'm gonna see it, and I'm probably gonna see it opening night, and I'm most likely gonna see it twice. But
even if it's garbage?
Yeah, I saw The Last Jedi twice.
I gotta rewatch these. Like,
they're on Disney Plus.
I know they are.
Oh, actually, I don't think The Last Jedi is not on
Last
Disney
Jedi,
Plus.
I think, is on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix right now.
Either way, I have it on Blu-ray, so we can just give it to you next time we podcast.
Well, I have Netflix.
I was saying if it's not.
Oh, well, either way, it's on somewhere,
yeah.
And I can find it. Did you watch Solo?
I did not see Solo, actually.
I don't know how I feel about it. I watched it 3 times.
The Thing, I don't know why
but
I
not
didn't
watched
see
it 3 times.
Because, like, Amelia Clark is in it, Donald Glover's in it.
Amelia Clark is in it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. No, I knew that.
Yeah. I didn't see it because it got spoiled for me. That's why I didn't see it.
No, Han Solo dies in the other one.
That got spoiled for me, too.
I know. You fucking spoiled it for me.
No, I didn't. There's no way. We didn't know each other when that movie... I was still in high school when that movie came out.
So I've just been resenting you all these years? I'm just kidding. No. Someone spoiled it for me, though.
No, the day before it came out, I was just on Facebook.
And you scrolled and you're like, I'm done.
There was a meme of SpongeBob. And I was like, what? And it said in the top right-hand corner, Kylo Ren kills Han Solo.
What the fuck?
And I was like, why'd you do that? And it was the day before it came out, so I thought I was still safe.
So Kylo... Oh, yeah, no, I remember now. Kylo Ren is Han Solo.
He's Ben Solo is his real name.
Yeah, Ben. Spoiled brat Ben.
I love that he's named after Obi-Wan Kenobi's alias.
That was an alias?
Yeah, he went by Ben Kenobi on...
Oh, that's right.
On Tatooine.
Tatooine.
No, but I'm really scared there's going to be time travel. But the Fallen Order's killing it. The Mandalorian's killing it, so Star Wars isn't dead.
And Obi-Wan's going to be awesome.
And Kenobi's going to be really good.
It's going to be so good.
And I actually am interested to see what they're going to do when they're away from the main plot. Because Rogue One was amazing. Rogue One was one of the best Star Wars movies ever
I feel like
made.
Rogue One is, you said ever made?
One of the best Star Wars movies ever made.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I feel like that's what they need to focus on more instead of like trying to bring back like the old Star Wars.
Just do the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Just do the Old Republic. You've got your own streaming service now. Do an Old Republic show.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many... And get Keanu Reeves to play Darth Revan.
Who the fuck is Darth Revan?
Have you never played Knights of the Old Republic?
No.
Oh, buddy. You got to figure out a way to play that. It's
I know.
fantastic.
I think they're making a remastered version.
I'm sure they are.
But, you know what I'm really pissed about? Did you see, like, the trailers for that one Star Wars game? It was, like, 1313 or something like that.
Yep, and it got canceled. I lie awake at night wondering what 1313 could have been. Because it wasn't going to be about Jedi. It makes me
so sad.
It was going to be about, like,
it was going to be Jango Fett.
Yeah. Well, people like that, yeah.
No, it was Jango Fett.
Oh, he was in the trailer? It's been years since I've, like...
I didn't know it was Jango Fett, but I just recently found out about Jango. That was no, it's not because we can't fucking have it. Dan.
No, and here's the thing: The Fallen Order is like one of the first good Star Wars video games to come out in years.
Did you play any of the new Battlefronts?
I played Battlefront 2.
Was it good?
For a reskinned Battlefield clone. Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, that's what made me so mad was it was Battlefield with lasers.
The maps are annoying sometimes, and something that I've never understood is that when I'm a hero, I get killed immediately.
Yeah.
But when somebody else is a hero,
they just go on a fucking slaughter spree.
They go on a 50 kill streak.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Well, and something that I hated was how any character that had a lightsaber, it felt like you were slapping somebody with your lightsaber. Whereas in the Fallen Order, you've got a lightsaber.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just great. The combat's fun. The story's interesting. The world is beautiful.
Did you play Force Unleashed?
I played both.
I liked the first one, but then I was like, the second one is just...
I liked the Force Unleashed games, but they were like solidly okay.
Yeah.
You know?
They weren't anything special.
Yeah, no. Like, I'm glad I played it. I liked finding the collectibles. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure I 100% completed Force Unleashed 2. Just because I was better at that one.
Yeah.
But I was just like... Oh, these are like pretty good games. But Fallen Order, you're like, oh, this could be a game of the year.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is fantastic.
I need to buy that. I just need to buy it.
You should. Instead of buying Assassin's Creed Origins, you should.
Well, Dan, there's so many games
there are so many games.
I didn't play. Do you like, what's it called? Disney people and Keyblades. What the fuck is it? Kingdom Hearts.
No.
You don't like Kingdom Hearts?
No. Well,
I played
Here's
the first two, and they were great.
I didn't have a PlayStation growing up. I had an Xbox. And all my friends had Xbox. So we didn't
But now
touch
Kingdom Hearts 3 is on Xbox, so...
Well, right, but I've heard that the plot is unbelievably confusing.
Dan, you've watched Twin Peaks. And you enjoyed every second of it.
I did enjoy every second of it. And I think it's because I was raised on like Star Wars and war movies that I don't have like a fondness for
Dude, if they put
movies.
Star Wars and Kingdom Hearts now, because it's gonna be baller.
They're gonna put the Avengers in it.
It'll be baller.
Did you see that people got mad that in the new Avengers video game they don't look like how they do in the movies?
Yeah, people are stupid. This is what I'm telling you, Dan. Yeah. People are fucking stupid.
I'll give you that. Something else.
All superhero games are trash, though, besides Spider-Man.
Besides the newest Spider-Man.
Spider-Man and Batman. That's the only video games that did it right.
And only, like, a couple of the Arkham games. Like, Arkham... What's the first one?
Arkham Asylum. Yeah.
Arkham Asylum and Arkham City were really good.
Yeah.
And then, what was the other one? Dark Knight Origins or whatever?
Yeah, and then there was Arkham
Planet.
Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's the newest one. I started playing it because it was free.
Yeah, my brother bought it for $5 from a GameStop, so that's why I played it. back on our old Xbox 360, not even
Yeah.
on our PlayStation. And so not Star Wars, superhero video games are the most disappointing to me.
Horrible.
Because I'm like, look at Prototype.
Did you ever play?
Just make Prototype.
Prototype was baller.
Just
I
make
completely
Prototype.
forgot about Prototype.
A Watchmen video game would be sick.
They made one. It was like an Xbox arcade.
Yeah, but
game.
It was probably modeled after the movie, I imagine.
It was.
Yeah.
But
no,
also,
I mean like playing as Dr. Manhattan in the fields of Vietnam, just blowing people up. It'd be so much fun.
did you play the Iron Man game?
Oh no. That looked like a disaster.
It was absolute garbage. The game
Again, 'cause it's a
Ultimate
movie
Alliance, those games were good.
Yeah, those were cool.
They're cool.
I played those at like friends' houses. I never like bought a copy.
Yeah. There was an old game. It was like Marvel Nemesis.
Marvel versus Capcom.
No,
that was fun.
Not that old. It was Marvel Nemesis. It was pretty cool. You probably don't know anything about it because I think it was only on PS2. Dude, I can't believe you.
I missed all the PS2 stuff.
You need to buy a PS2.
I
and
missed
play
Sly Cooper.
You need to play Sly. Just get a PS2.
Okay, I'll get a PS2.
Just get a PS2.
No, see, now they're classic. It's so old that it's like expensive again.
No, it's not.
Like GameCube games. Like
no, it's not.
They're not. Have they dropped? Oh, see, when I was looking to get back into old stuff, like a copy of Super Mario Sunshine was like $50.
Well, that's classic.
Oh, okay. So I need to get
PS2 is just on the border right now to where you can get it like a PS2 and a whole bunch of games for like $60.
Dude, they made PS2 games into like 2012.
Yeah.
Because I guess like Asian markets like loved ports to PS2.
PS2 was probably one of the greatest consoles ever.
Well, it has the most games of any console in history.
It's amazing.
Like by a long shot.
The freaking Ratchet and Clank.
I got the remake.
So good. Is it good?
I like it.
Jack and Daxter was probably one of the greatest games of all time.
I haven't played it, so
exactly.
Something that I wanted to talk about because you suggested that we talk about things that we're watching. I started watching what I think is one of the funniest shows on television that's not a comedy.
What is it?
Is the show Kings of Pain on the History Channel.
Okay.
It is these crazy douchebags getting stung and bit by animals, and it's so funny because they're like zoologists or whatever. One of them's from Oklahoma, the other one's from Australia, and they're like, "Oh crikey, we're gonna get stung by the Death's Eater scorpion," and like, because I guess this guy created this like pain scale for stinging insects to try to help teach how to treat getting stung by those things.
Yeah.
So that's the excuse that they're using. And it's so funny because half of the show is the camera cutting to someone else's face while ominous music plays.
Yeah.
And
Myrtle, get down.
No. Sorry, I'm being attacked by a dog.
Oh no. It turned into a shit show.
Immediately.
Myrtle, lay down.
And it's hilarious because there's an EMT like right next to him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Why are you guys doing this?"
Yeah.
Like, he's not even like, and he's always like, "You can go." He has to provide the warning for the shows. So he's like, they interview him. He's like, "Yeah,
these guys are fucking
He's like,
idiots.
you could get anaphylactic shock. We have no idea what's gonna happen."
Yeah.
When most people get stung by this thing, they get stung by it once and they like swat it away. These guys are like sticking the stinger in. It's so funny. It is so funny because then they get stung and they scream and yell and throw things, and then they go, "Ooh, okay," and they try to give like a scientific explanation of what it feels like.
Oh my god.
It's just so funny to me.
Are these guys YouTubers and then History Channel was like, we need more ratings, so
Might as well be. I mean, I want these guys on the Joe Rogan Experience just to hear them talk.
He would probably have them on there, and it'd probably be great.
Because, like, it doesn't stop at, like, venomous insects or, like, venomous animals.
What do you mean? Do they stab each other?
No, they get bit by, like...
Dogs?
They got bit by, like, a monitor lizard.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a baby king, a baby Komodo dragon.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Dude, I watched a Komodo dragon eat a monkey yesterday. I was fuck that.
It wasn't a Komodo dragon, but it's like in the family of the Komodo dragon.
Still.
And and they get bit by a python at one point. I'm so excited for that episode because I'm like, I know what's gonna happen. It's just gonna shred their arm.
I'm probably never gonna watch this.
Dude, you need to watch it. It's on demand on TV. Oh, you don't have?
I don't have TV. I have Hulu, Netflix, and Disney Plus.
I'm sure it's on Hulu.
It probably is.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure Disney owns History Channel.
No, the A&E Corporation owns.
They own A&E.
They do?
Yes, they fucking own that. You didn't know that?
They do.
Disney owns everything now.
Disney. But it's hilarious. It seriously is so funny. And they're always like, dude, you okay? How's it going? And he's like, oh, fucking scorpion stung me in the dick.
Oh, fuck that.
No, they don't do it. They always get stung on the arm. But I was thinking to myself last night, I was watching it. We are 2 steps away. Have you ever seen the movie Idiocracy?
Yes.
We are 2 steps away from the show Ow My Balls.
Dude, we've been there.
But it's on TV now. Like,
I know.
Like you used to have to like find those videos on YouTube, but now we are. This is like at least has the veil of being scientific.
Tosh.0.
Oh yeah.
There's Tosh.0. Fucking the Rob Dyrdek network has that one Rob Dyrdek show.
Network?
Yeah, MTV.
Oh, MTV. The Rob Dyrdek
Yes,
channel.
because Rob Dyrdek owns every show that's on there now.
Yeah, because as soon as Fantasy Factory ended, he had another show immediately.
He had like 3 at one time. Yeah.
What was that called? Ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was just people getting bit by things on the dick, pretty much.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We're already there. We've been there for like a decade.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's 2020 almost, basically. Isn't that crazy?
That's ridiculous. Especially because I thought we'd have flying cars by now.
Yeah.
Dude, when Elon Musk said that we couldn't have flying cars because it would be so loud and like we wouldn't be able to handle it, I'm like, oh, that broke my heart.
It'd be so loud.
Yeah, because we'd need like a jet. Everything would be propelled by a jet, like a jet engine.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah, those are loud. That's why I love talking to engineers, because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a dum-dum.
Yeah. It humbles you as far as your smartness.
For sure.
Did you like the Cybertruck?
Like the what?
The Cybertruck.
Oh, okay. So, I have never been more conflicted as I have with the Cybertruck, because certain lighting and certain angles, I'm like, oh, that's the car of the future.
Yeah.
Like, that's what cars will look like in the future. And then from other angles, it looks like a 7-year-old drew it. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this. And people are saying that all the videos of them pulling other trucks are fake. And I'm like,
it's the internet. You're not supposed to believe anything.
Right. Yeah. I look at everything on the internet like a conspiracy theory video.
Me too.
I go, maybe.
Yep. It's entirely possible.
I go to, if it's science-based, I go to my dad.
Yep.
Like, 5G's gonna melt our brains and make us sterile. I'm like, Dad! Dad, they're talking about physics. Is this true?
See, I don't have a smart person anymore. You were my smart person.
Oh, no, don't put that evil on me.
Now I don't have a smart person. And I'm just out here wandering.
Want my dad's phone number?
Well, yeah. Can I have it? I'll just call him up and be like, hey, Mr. Dan's dad, I have a question.
His name is also Dan.
Senior Dan? But no. We were talking about Star Wars. What are we doing?
I intentionally changed the subject to Kings of Pain.
What are your thoughts on The Irishman?
I've never been more disappointed.
Really?
Yeah. And
you just earlier you said you wouldn't compare. I don't remember what we were talking about. I think it was the Joker.
I said I wouldn't compare Marvel movies. I wouldn't hold them to the same quality that I hold The Irishman. And here's the thing.
So you weren't saying it was quality.
Right.
Okay.
And
I understand.
I don't have a problem that it's 3 hours. I don't care how long it is. Mm-hmm. Because Casino, I think that The Irishman is 3.5 hours long, and Casino is 3 hours long, and I love Casino.
Yeah.
So, I didn't have a problem with that. I love Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
There's not a single movie that I've seen of his that I haven't liked. I liked Silence. I liked...
What is Silence?
It's a movie about Jesuit priests in Japan.
Oh.
It's a very deep and like it'll as a religious person, it like puts you in the corner and you're like
ah,
cuz it's about the like persecution that the Japanese did to the Christians and how the Japanese was like they were making them like deny their faith, and the priests are trying to get them to not do that, but the people keep getting killed in much more gruesome ways.
Mm-hmm.
And
speaking of people getting killed, you know that book Joe Rogan's talking about, the Everlasting Welcome Son or whatever it's called, about the native. Yeah, dude. Okay, so I downloaded
Kingdom of the Sun or
Empire of the Summer Sun or something like that. Summer Bread, whatever. And
we got to get this summer bread.
No, I downloaded Audible and you get a free book, and I downloaded that and I've been listening to it, and holy fuck. Holy fuck. These people were some gruesome gangster motherfuckers.
Yeah, dude. The Native Americans were gangster as fuck.
Merle, come here.
I think that's what I like. What I've noticed is that in history, I really love people who are just gangster.
No, this isn't even like gangster. They were talking about how they would cut stuff off and shove it in the dead person's mouth and then just leave them there.
Yeah, dude, that's some ancient behavior.
That's fucking...
Read what the ancient Babylonian kings used to do. They'd cut off their like opponents' heads, and then they'd like display them in the waiting room. And it wasn't like...
Wouldn't it smell?
No, they had some like preservative.
Just imagine like back in the day.
They put them in like jars.
Before deodorant.
Oh, dude, the world smelled so bad.
It was probably disgusting.
That's why incense was brought into churches. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, that's why the Catholic Church swings incense around.
Like, you motherfuckers stink.
That's why people, that's why you give flowers after somebody died.
What?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Because they're a dead body. Flowers smell good. Dead bodies don't. Or why a bride carries flowers and why there's a flower girl. Is because the bride stank.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude. That's why I don't want time travel, because I know I'll go back in time and go, oh God. Yeah. No, dude, because you got to think about it. Peasants would bathe if they were like well-to-do peasants once a week.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's just bad. Myrtle, go lay down.
Yeah,
if anyone's listening is like, why is he talking about Myrtle? It's my dog. I'm just trying to get her to lay down.
She's a good girl, but she doesn't listen.
She's just over 1 year old, so she is still a puppy. Go lay down. Lay down.
Close enough.
Yeah, there you go.
So, back to the Irishman. I don't have a problem that it's as long as it is. Mm-hmm. My problem is that
Myrtle,
I feel like it's about nothing.
Yeah, I can understand that.
It just kind of just...
Go lay down.
It just like there was so much more, like there was things I wish they talked about. Like what? Like the fact that the mob got Kennedy the election.
Oh yeah.
Like that would have been like, okay. I understand
Is this like historical fact and like it's been proven?
I mean, that's like asking if... Okay, it's on par with saying that Lee Harvey Oswald didn't kill Kennedy. Where, like, it went from crazy conspiracy theory to, yeah, you probably right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's not written in history books that John F. Kennedy stole the election, but everybody goes, yeah, but probably.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gone from conspiracy theory to, well, I wasn't there, but...
Yeah.
You know?
It makes sense.
And I get that that's Scorsese's thing. Like, Goodfellas people thought it was going to be about the Lufthansa heist.
What is that?
It's when they stole all the money from a plane. And that's the part in Goodfellas where he's like, in the shower and he's listening to the radio and he's like, oh, you sons of bitches, you did it, you know? So I get that that's Scorsese's thing is like, okay, it takes place when this event happened. It's not about that event.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, what are they going to do with Jimmy Hoffa? Because nobody knows where Jimmy Hoffa's buried. And, you know, it's... What I loved was it showed how cold-hearted the mafia was.
Yeah.
That, like, the guy who shot Jimmy Hoffa, allegedly, had a bumper sticker saying, help us find Jimmy Hoffa. Like, that is
Oh, yeah. And he was, like, talking to his wife and everything.
Yeah. And his daughter's like, why didn't you call her?
Yeah.
Like, his daughter, like, figures it out, like, immediately.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler. Well, if you haven't seen it yet, it's your own problem.
Well, it's 3.5 hours long, Dan.
I know.
I didn't watch it in one sitting. Did you watch it in one sitting?
I watched it in 2 sittings.
Exactly. Same here. Maybe people haven't sat down for the second time.
For the third sitting.
Yeah.
But I just hated how after they killed Jimmy Hoffa, the movie stops.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. And then when Joe Pesci was just like, I'm going to the hospital.
No, he's like, I'm going to church.
Yeah.
There were a lot of famous Catholic priests in that show.
Yeah.
Or in that movie. So I at least got to nerd out about that. I could be like, oh, that's Father Jonathan Morris, who ironically isn't a priest anymore. The priest at the end.
Talking to...
Yeah, he used to be a priest.
Jesus Christ. Was it him in person?
Yeah. Well, no. He's an actor.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he's acting now. He used to be a priest.
Okay.
And the priest who baptizes all of his kids. The priest who baptizes all of his kids.
Yeah.
That actually is a priest. That's Father James Martin. So that was cool. Everything was in period, which I liked.
Yeah.
But it just it felt like a movie where Martin Scorsese, it felt like the first draft of a movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like nobody...
Wasn't it in the making for like 10 years?
I bet. But that all of Scorsese's movies are like that. Because Scorsese buys the rights to 7 things and then makes a movie about one of them. Yeah. So people thought that his next movie was going to be The Devil in the White City, which I was excited for, which was going to be about H.H. Holmes, the serial killer. The guy who bought a hotel and everybody who went there died. And they
Sounds
were
like a genius
They were
to
going to
me.
have Leonardo DiCaprio play H.H. Holmes. And there's a new theory that H.H. Holmes was Jack the Ripper. So I'm like, oh, this could be...
Oh, shit.
This could be amazing. I think Tarantino should make that movie, though.
Yeah, it sounds like it. But isn't Tarantino done making films now?
He'll be done when he's in the grave. I don't trust him.
I just love his give no fucks attitude. When they were like, Margot Robbie didn't have enough lines.
I reject your premise.
Yeah.
It's the best thing to say. Yeah, I just love... Something that I don't love is his love of feet.
Yeah,
and
that was a weird ass scene.
And how now when you watch his movies, you're like, oh, I know why he told her to do that.
Yeah, Margot needs to wash her feet, though.
No, I was talking about the hippie girl in the car.
Oh,
she had her feet up on the dashboard.
Oh. Yeah.
And so you could see her feet. And then she's like putting her feet near, what's his name?
Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt, yeah. And I was like, ew, Scorsese likes this.
It's Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Ugh.
Don't get the two confused.
No. They both make violent movies with a lot of swearing.
But then what really grossed me out was she put her arm back in her armpit.
Well, she's a hippie. That's what hippies were like.
Oh, that's so gross.
Yeah,
I guess all of that is like super accurate too. Even like the ranch.
Oh, yeah. Well, not the flamethrower. Spoilers.
No, yeah. Yeah.
I loved that. When that happened, when I realized, oh, this is what he's doing, I almost stood up and cheered. I was like, get her! Get her! And he threw the dog food can.
Oh my God. Crushed him. Crushed him.
That whole scene, I was just cheering. Because the whole movie, I didn't realize Sharon Tate was pregnant when she was murdered.
Yeah.
So I was like, Shannon?
Mrs.
Margot
Tate.
Robbie.
Yeah.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're going to kill her when she's pregnant? I was like, oh no, like I can't, my heart cannot take pregnant Margot Robbie getting slaughtered in front of me. And I'm like, oh, it's Tarantino, so he's going to show it. And oh no, this is going to be so bad.
Like just the fact that Brad Pitt was just tripping dick.
I got one question for you.
Are you real?
Are you real?
He was just laughing the entire time, and then he was like, "Oh, this is real." And then the fucking dog. That's the greatest dog ever.
Oh, best boy.
Best boy.
But back to The Irishman. I was so excited. I was off the charts excited. You have all my favorite actors.
Mm-hmm.
You have something else that I loved was how they can de-age his face, but they can't de-age the way he walks.
Yeah.
So when he walks,
they were
he
all
still walks
it was
like
horrible.
An old man. And that fight he
Yeah.
gets in with the grocery clerk.
Yeah.
Like he's kicking him like my grandma kicks people,
Mm-hmm.
and my grandma can't walk.
Yeah.
It was so funny to
Yeah.
me.
That was the worst part for me.
Yeah,
too.
I was like, oh yeah, he's not that young.
Yeah. Oh my God, they look horrible. Especially Al Pacino. Al Pacino looks real bad.
When they're like middle aged, it looks okay. It's when they're supposed to be like 30 that it looks like garbage. I don't think Al Pacino wasn't that bad. Robert De Niro was the really bad. Like, oh, that's not what he looks like.
Okay, it's complete spoiler alert right now. But when in the end, when he brings them to the house, and then he was like, "Oh no, we gotta get out of here." He shuffled like he was going for the porridge.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
They got creamed corn today.
He shuffled like he was going for the porridge.
Like it was bad.
It was really bad.
It was bad. Did you see that Al Pacino had to, or no, Robert De Niro had to wear like 5-inch thick shoes to represent the height of
to be taller.
What was the guy's name?
Frank
Joey
Sheenan.
Frank?
Yeah, Frank Sheeran or Sheenan, something like that.
No.
We have
Sheeran.
We have no clue, and we also have no clue about names. So
it's horrible.
Google, listener, you have access to all of the world's information at your fingertips. If we screw it up, just Google it and let us know in the comments.
Could you imagine if I uploaded this and it just like blew up? I wouldn't even know what to do. I would be really pissed that you said no to a video.
Hey man, we're gonna blow up one of these days. Yeah, man, we'll make a podcast. It's not like anybody else has thought about that.
Well, that's the cool. I feel like podcasting is in like the early ages of what YouTube used to be in its early ages.
That time has already passed.
Yeah.
That time happened in 2013.
Yeah.
That's when people were like, "Whoa, anybody can do a podcast?"
Mm-hmm.
Now my brother has a podcast.
Does he?
Yeah, Roy's Happy Time Fun Time Hour. Find it on SoundCloud.
Roy's Happy Time Fun Time Hour.
Yeah.
I gotta listen to it. Is it only on SoundCloud?
Yeah, it's only on SoundCloud.
Why?
Because he just puts stuff on SoundCloud.
Why doesn't he download Anchor or something?
He doesn't want to get famous. It's like for him.
Still.
He put an EP on SoundCloud.
Mm-hmm.
Like just one night.
I think you told me that.
You just. I mean, it's just a stream of consciousness, just him on his guitar making music. It's not
That's
like
baller.
Yeah, but he's got a podcast, so everybody's got a podcast.
Everyone does have a podcast.
This should be fun. Since we're talking about podcasts, you want to wrap it up?
Let's do it.
All right, nice. So this has been fun.
How are we gonna even wrap this up?
I don't know.
My name's Sean.
My name's Dan, and we have no clue.
We have no clue. Well, that was cool.